Sometimes what you don't see is more frightening than what you do. In the grand tapestry of our lives, we often dismiss the odd threads that don't seem to fit. We shrug off the strange and the inexplicable, chalking them up to mere coincidences or figments of our overactive imagination. But what if these oddities are not mere aberrations, but subtle signs of something far more sinister? Consider the unexplained phenomena that have been brushed under the rug of our collective consciousness. Crop circles in the dead of night, radio signals from the void of space, and the occasional person acting completely out of character. All these incidents, when viewed in isolation, might seem random, even trivial. But what if they're not? Imagine these incidents as pieces of a jigsaw puzzle. Individually, they may not reveal much, but when pieced together, they form a chilling pattern that's impossible to ignore. The crop circles aren't just pranks by bored teenagers, but sophisticated signals, a secret language known only to the initiates. The random radio signals aren't just cosmic noise, but coded messages, whispers from the abyss. And the people acting out of character, they're not just having a bad day. They're being controlled, manipulated, their will usurped by an unseen force. These are not just random events, they are the subtle signs of an unseen invasion. The silent infiltration of our society by an alien force, a force that has been guiding human civilization for millennia. As we were busy living our lives, they were busy planning ours. Imagine for a moment a world where every major event, every technological breakthrough, every leap forward for humanity was not our own, but orchestrated by beings from another world. This is the reality of the alien infiltration, a clandestine operation centuries in the making, carried out by extraterrestrial entities, so advanced, so insidious, that they've managed to blend seamlessly into our society. They've been here, subtly influencing the course of human history, guiding our evolution in a direction that suits their grand plan. These aliens, masters of disguise, have infiltrated every level of society. They're in our governments, our corporations, our research facilities, molding the narrative of our world. They've been the puppet masters behind the scenes, pulling the strings of civilization, carefully curating the path of our progress. Think of the greatest minds in human history, those who've made leaps in technology, philosophy, and science, the genius inventors, the revolutionary thinkers. Were they truly human, or were they alien infiltrators, subtly pushing us towards a future of their design? And what of our leaders, the individuals who guide nations, who shape global policy? Could they, too, be part of this covert alien operation? It's a chilling thought that those at the helm of our world might not be of our world at all. Their strategy has been one of patience and subtlety. They didn't arrive with guns blazing or ships descending from the skies. Instead, they infiltrated, they influenced, they guided. They've been the unseen architects of our civilization, shaping our world to fit their needs, their plans, their vision for the future. And the most terrifying part, their plan has worked. They've been so deeply embedded in our society, so intricately woven into the fabric of our lives, that we would never have noticed their presence. If it weren't for the brave few who dared to question, to investigate, to resist. And all this while, they've been right under our noses. They were branded as paranoid, as terrorists, but they were our only hope. In the underbelly of society, a group of human rebels had long been aware of the alien presence. Known as the paranoid heroes, they were a disparate band of skeptics, scientists, and survivors united by a shared conviction. They believed, against all odds, that they were not alone, that our planet was not ours alone. Their attempts to expose the truth were met with ridicule and scorn. They were dismissed as conspiracy theorists, fearmongers, spreading tales of little green men and world domination. Their evidence was ignored, their voices silenced. They were branded as outcasts, as dangerous radicals. They were hunted, persecuted, and labeled as terrorists, but they did not falter, they did not give in. The truth, as it always does, found its way out. A statement so simple, yet it marked the beginning of a new epoch for humanity. Picture this, a world as we know it suddenly turned upside down. The moment of realization was like a shockwave, spreading rapidly across the globe, leaving no corner untouched. News broke out, whispers turned into shouts, and shouts into screams. The unseen among us had been unveiled. Our neighbors, our leaders, even our loved ones. They were not what they seemed. They were the advanced scouts of an impending alien invasion. The initial reaction was panic. The streets echoed with the cacophony of chaos as fear gripped the hearts of millions. The world economy came to a screeching halt, and society teetered on the brink of collapse. It was as if the very fabric of our existence was being torn apart, thread by thread. But in the midst of this pandemonium, arose a voice of reason. It spoke not of fear, but of acceptance. Acceptance of the truth that we were not alone in this vast universe. It urged us to cast aside our fear, to embrace this revelation, and to prepare. And so we did. We acknowledged our fear, but we refused to let it rule us. We accepted the truth of our situation, but we vowed to fight. The realization of the alien infiltration was not a death sentence, but a call to arms. We began to see the world in a new light. The alien presence, once a source of terror, became a uniting force. We were no longer divided by our petty differences. We were humans standing together against a common enemy. We rallied around our shared humanity, our shared planet, and our shared destiny. We were not alone, we never had been. But now, we were awake. Awake to the reality of our situation, awake to the threat that loomed over us, and awake to the fight that lay ahead. We were ready. The awakening had begun. The war was not for territory, not for resources. It was for our very existence. It was in the year 2039 that the battle for Earth reached its pinnacle. The alien invaders, those who had silently infiltrated our societies, were no longer hiding in the shadows. They had revealed themselves, their true forms and their terrifying intentions. They sought to conquer, to rule, to make Earth the newest jewel in their interstellar empire. But we, the human race, were not prepared to go quietly into that dark night. The war was brutal, a clash of technology and willpower. Our cities became battlegrounds, our homes transformed into fortresses. The alien invaders were powerful, their technology far surpassing ours, yet they underestimated one thing: the indomitable spirit of humanity. Faced with the threat of extinction, we fought back with everything we had. Our desperation fueled us, our courage guided us, and our determination kept us standing. The human rebels, those who were once branded as paranoid terrorists, led the charge. They had known all along, had prepared for this moment. Their knowledge, their readiness, gave us the edge we needed. They were our leaders in the face of this alien onslaught, our beacon of hope amidst the chaos. They rallied us, inspired us, and reminded us of what we were fighting for: our home, our freedom, our existence. The battle raged on. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. The losses were great, the victories small, but each one was a testament to our resolve. We stood not as separate nations but as one world, one species united against a common enemy. We showed them our strength, our resilience, our humanity. Against the alien invaders, we fought. Against their superior technology, their overpowering might, we stood our ground. We fought, not for territory or resources, but for our very existence. We fought to show them, to show the universe what it meant to be human. In the face of annihilation, we showed them what it meant to be human. To save our home, we had to destroy it. A bitter pill to swallow, but the reality of our situation. The alien invaders were relentless, their advance unstoppable. They were embedded deep within our societies, manipulating our evolution for millennia. To rid ourselves of this insidious infestation, we had to make the hardest decision. A choice that would change the face of our world forever. We called it the Scorched Earth Strategy, a last-ditch effort to salvage what was left of our humanity, a desperate attempt to sever the alien puppet strings that had silently controlled us for centuries. We would burn our own home, our beloved Earth, in the hopes of purging the alien menace once and for all. Imagine, if you will, the heartbreaking scenes of destruction, towering infernos where once stood our greatest cities, oceans boiling, forests ablaze, the air itself seeming to catch fire. The land we loved, the land we built our lives upon, reduced to cinders and ashes, the price of freedom, the cost of survival. It was a sight that would break the strongest of hearts, a vision of hell on earth. Yet in this fiery apocalypse, there was a glimmer of hope, a beacon of resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. For each flame that rose, each city that fell, we saw the weakening of our alien oppressors. We saw our sacrifice making a difference. We saw hope. The flames that consumed our world also ignited our spirit. United in our grief, galvanized in our determination, we found the strength to endure. We found the courage to fight on. We found the will to survive. The earth was our cradle, but now it had become our crucible, tempering us, shaping us, preparing us for the battles yet to come. And so, in the ashes of our old world, we saw the birth of a new one, a world scarred yet unbroken, a world that still held the promise of a brighter tomorrow. Our earth was scorched, but our resolve was not. For as long as we draw breath, as long as we have the will to fight, we will never be defeated. The earth was scorched, but our resolve was not. In the ashes of our world, we found our purpose. The aftermath of the scorched earth strategy was a sight that would haunt the annals of our history forever. Yet, amidst the charred remnants of what once was, the spirit of humanity flickered, refusing to be extinguished. The once bustling cities were now silent, the echoes of the past carried on the wind. The world we knew was gone, replaced by a new reality stark and grim. But in the face of adversity, we found a resilience within us we never knew existed. We were survivors, fighters, and most importantly, we were united. A sense of renewed resolve swept across the globe. The aliens had intended to crush us, but they only succeeded in igniting a fire within us. We were ready to fight back, to reclaim our world. In the end, the aftermath was not a testament to our defeat, but rather our resilience. We were down, but not out. The battle was over, but the war was just beginning. The echoes of the last explosion had barely faded when the realization set in. This was merely the opening salvo. The alien infiltrators who had been guiding human civilization for millennia were just the vanguard, the tip of a cold, alien spear pointed at the heart of our world. The human rebels, once scorned as paranoid terrorists, had shown the world the truth, and in doing so, had become its heroes. Their eyes, unclouded by the illusion spun by the infiltrators, saw the threat for what it was, and they knew that the real fight, the battle for the very soul of Earth, was still on the horizon. Every city, every town, every last bastion of humanity was now a fortress, fortified not just with concrete and steel, but with the indomitable spirit of a species pushed to the brink. The rebels turned heroes were now leaders, their paranoia now seen as foresight. They were the architects of our defenses, the strategists of our war, the beacons of hope in our darkest hour. Yet uncertainty clouded the future. The alien infiltrators had shown us a fraction of their power, and it was more than we could have imagined. What horrors could a full-scale invasion bring? Could our rebel heroes lead us to victory against such overwhelming odds? Or would Earth become another notch on the belt of an interstellar conqueror, a burnt-out husk orbiting a lonely sun? The preparations were ongoing, each day bringing us one step closer to the inevitable clash. The rebels were now our army, our shield against the impending onslaught. Every man, woman, and child was a soldier, their resolve hardened by the fires of the initial conflict. The world was united like never before, a single entity ready to fight for its very existence. As we stare into the abyss, one question remains: can we survive the final invasion? The answer to that question, my friends, will determine the fate of our world, the destiny of humanity. The stage is set, the players are in place, and the final act of this cosmic drama is about to unfold.
Fascinating, but quite impossible.